This presentation is entitled A Critical Analysis of Cross-Referencing in Electronic Dictionaries. It is narrated by Neil van Graan and Prinsloo. In this presentation, we discuss the basic principles of cross-referencing, as well as true electronic features, which will be expanded on in later slides. We also do an analysis of 3 dictionaries, all electronic, and then we proceed to an application of electronic features, true electronic features, to African language dictionaries. We finalize with our conclusion. We argue that the principles of cross-referencing, usually found in paper-based dictionaries, such as implicit cross-references and explicit cross-references, as well as cross-reference position or point and cross-reference addresses, are all usable and available to the compiler of electronic dictionaries. However, true electronic features, as discussed by Goos and Tarp 2017, are commonly found in electronic dictionaries. Our analysis will proceed from this basis, and we will focus on specifically hover over options or mouse over options and clicking or tapping options. Our analysis will focus on Le Grand Robert de la langue française, Macmillan Dictionary Online, and icizulu.net, bilingual Zulu-English dictionary. We will focus on, as mentioned before, true electronic features. We will, however, comment, where appropriate, on cross-referencing principles that are relevant to both paper-based and electronic dictionaries. This is not, however, the focus. The first dictionary we'll focus on is Le Grand Robert de la langue française. Though not a free electronic dictionary, it is fully electronic, and it is available on both Mac and Windows operating systems. We will start with simple mouse over features. In the top left corner, just below the heading, you will note standard cursor. When hovering over a word that is hyperlinked, the mouse cursor changes to a little hand with a pointed index finger. Once clicked on, it takes you to the relevant article. Note, however, that sometimes, in a system such as this, which uses generalized hyperlinking, some errors may occur. For example, clicking on the Roman numeral 7 brings up a note that says this word is not in this dictionary. That is a translation of the French. Though the system has its flaws, that is, some words may not appear that are hyperlinked, the fact that the dictionary can tell you is very useful to the user. It prevents the user from wasting time searching for something that is not there. The second dictionary we will focus on is Macmillan Dictionary Online. We have selected the lemma table as a demonstration. Note that when hovering over the 3 red stars, the mouse cursor also changes to a pointed hand. And in addition to this, a link appears in the bottom left corner of the screen, which we have screen snipped and placed to the right of the red stars. It shows where the user will be led if the user decides to click. Once the user clicks, it takes us to that address, as can be shown in the illustration below. And just for illustrative purposes, we have included the heading red words and stars. The last dictionary we'll focus on is icizulu.net, bilingual Zulu-English dictionary. We use the isiZulu lemma kuluma for illustrative purposes. The article presents translation equivalents in English, speak, talk, and converse. For our purposes, we show that we can hover above speak and talk. Talk to the left of the screen and speak to the right. Note also that we have included the links that appear in the bottom left corners of the screen when hovering above these translation equivalents. I now hand over to Professor Prinsloo, who will take some of these principles further and discuss their application in other African language dictionaries.
isiZulu.net does well in providing cross-references as clickable hot links. So, for example, clicking on the translation equivalents speak and talk bring up pop-up boxes with more information on these words as indicated by the inserted arrows in this figure. The user can further drill down by, for example, clicking on Inkulumo under Talk, which provides a pop-up box for Inkulumo, indicated by the arrow from right to left in the figure. No other examples of similar cross-referencing strategies in dictionaries for African languages are known to the authors. We wish to argue that cross-referencing in electronic dictionaries for many African languages to a large extent rests on the nominal and verbal systems of these languages, and that all planning activities for cross-referencing depart from what we call anchor tables for nouns and verbs, and that relevant sections of these anchor tables are extracted from the anchor tables in specific instances. In principle, two basic cross-reference strategies should be employed, namely hover over options and clicking options. So the first action the user would typically take is to rest the cursor on a specific item and read what is offered and what will be obtained if users proceed on the route of information retrieval by clicking on the link. Consider an extract from the anchor table for nouns, indicating classes and concords. Consider a similar extract from the anchor table for verbs. When the user is dealing with the provision of the correct subject or object concord in especially text production situations, they could be assisted by a pop-up extract from the noun class system briefly showing the noun classes and their concords. A single glance at the box will be sufficient, and there is no risk of information overload. In addition to providing a section for the appropriate mood from the anchor table for verbs, many other useful information can be provided by means of cross-references in the form of pop-up boxes. In this example, a shaded box is given to guide the user in terms of the use of the present tense marker. Of specific importance are cross-references to processed and unprocessed corpus data, and different kinds of links to support systems such as the Sepedi sentence builder and the copulative decision tree. The Sepedi helper enables users to build sentences in the different moods as well as possessive and adjective constructions through step-by-step guidance by simply providing nouns, verbs, adjectives, etc. to the system. The copulative decision tree helps the user through a series of binary choices to find the correct copulative. A text verification system for Sepedi is being developed. In principle, it will enable the user to verify text produced against the corpus. The interested reader is referred to the sources listed in the list of references below. In this example, cross-references that can be obtained through hovering and clicking for a typical entry of a noun in Sepedi are bulleted. Consider the following 10 bullets presented in 2 slides. Firstly, frequency information and information about the star system could be given as has been done in MED, obtained through hovering and clicking. The next 2 bullets provide pop-up boxes for the full noun class anchor table and applicable extract for class 1. The last bullet departs from the translation equivalent man and brings up the detailed treatment of the lemma man. The first bullet is intended to give guidance on correct use. This is the typical information given in shaded boxes traditionally given in paper dictionaries. The second bullet is a cross-reference to full treatment of husband in the reverse side of the dictionary. The third bullet renders support from the anchor table for nouns and the fourth bullet from the anchor table for verbs, as well as an important link to a support system, the Sepedi helper. The copulative key in the penultimate bullet represents such a complicated system that the cross-reference is directly to the full decision tree for copulatives. Finally, all words in the example sentences are cross-referenced to their specific full articles.
We conclude this presentation by stating the following. The cross-referencing strategies used in paper-based dictionaries are still available and usable in electronic dictionaries. However, the practicality and user-friendliness of these strategies are increased thanks to the true electronic features, which are enabled by hyperlinking. Thank you very much for viewing, and we look forward to your questions.